How I made this modular board, part 1, the planning process. So here you see a modular board that I built for when I can hobby, and this first process, the first part of this is actually the planning stage. So what I do is I printed out a 4x4 grid and I drew what I thought would be a good design. So I'm going to have three just absolutely plain flock tiles. There's these 5 river tiles, and then there's 2 river tiles which have got a kind of modular hill as part of it. Now the river tiles were broken up into kind of straight ones, left corner, right corner, tight corner, and kind of chicanes as well. I mean, this is my most adventurous board so far because of the offset nature of the river. So each river drawing thing is I've drawn it on the template here as 1 centimeter in from the side and 1 centimeter wide. And then after that, it's a case of moving these around and check that it works. So first of all, I wanted to check that the modular hill in the center, so the big hill in the center, which works really well as an objective, could work with the river around the outside. So I just started putting the river tiles down and seeing where I got to. Now, this is my first attempt at it, and realised that you can't just have a river ending like that. So I realised that if I rotate that one and then I put this one over here, then all of a sudden you've got a river that kind of meanders around the outside, and the rest of the pieces can just slot in, and you've got a nice central objective of a hill with a river running down the edge. But what about having the kind of modular hill split in half and the 2 halves at the sides? Can we have the river like flowing nicely through the center of the board that way? Well, let's find out. So put a couple of river pieces down to make a corner, put the little tight corner in, then the other one, and then we've got 3 pieces left of river left to put in. That one doesn't fit there, so we go with that one. And then we realise that we've got 1 straight bit left over, which doesn't really work with that. But what we can do is we move that round, shift the whole thing up, then that piece of river slots in there, and all of a sudden we've got an entirely different design where there's hills at the outside, the river running through the centre, and lots of open space for scatter terrain or just open battlefield. Now the 4-way modular hill can also be used as corner pieces. So this is what this design is going to be. So putting the hill pieces in the corner, what can we do with the river which will be interesting? And I also wanted to actually show off the pieces of river with a modular hill design. So when I put this straight bit down here, you'll notice that the modular hill on the left of it would be a nice flat edge, which we don't really want. So I'm going to have to move that one across, rotate it, and then we can have the matching piece of that modular hill just there like that. So as you've seen with every single design I've done so far, just putting it together, just by having one piece moved slightly differently, all of a sudden we've got a new design. So here we've got a river running through the center of hills with some extra hills at the corner. So again, this design works really well. But I wanted to see, basically, when you're doing this yourself, draw something out, and you may have to make a whole bunch of different tiles, and you may make mistakes. I was lucky with this one, or experienced with this one, and it just worked for me. So I just went through and did even more designs. So this one here, I want to make sure I take advantage of these modular hills and have the river running around the outside like this. And once again, this gets to a situation where you go, well, maybe we need 1 more river piece, but we don't want the whole board completely dominated by river. So I realized that what we can do instead of this is we can have the river, all the river doesn't necessarily all have to be joined up as one. So what you can do is with this particular board is have half of the river over there and then half of the river along a different side entirely, and that will actually work. I mean, this one is actually in 3 different parts. So you've got one part of the river at the top, using the corner at the corner, and that's quite nice to do with these modular rivers. A corner piece can just be at the corner, and that works absolutely fine. And there you see you have a different design. And I think the final one I'm going to show you in just a minute is where the river is just split into 2. So with all these different designs, the hills have different levels of dominance in the board, and the river has different levels of dominance in the board. And I think that's really nice, and that's why I love modular boards so much, is that every single time you play it's going to be a new design. And you can make really beautiful board designs with no gaps or anything, but they're the same every single time, and it's only scatter terrain that's going to make the difference. So here you see one long bit of river going through with just one corner piece up in the corner. So yeah, basically this design worked, so this is the design I decided to go ahead with, and here you can see it made. So coming up next will be the remainder of the how to do this, moving on next to the basic construction. If you've liked this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when the new parts of the video are being uploaded. And yeah, leave any comments that you really like. So if you've got any questions about how I made the board, then please let me know. For all of the materials that I've used in this, there are links in the description below. So please follow those links and it will help support the channel. Anyway, I'm Chris from Good Enough Scenery. Hope you have enjoyed this introductory part on how I made this modular board.